Hello everybody, Crypto Chaperone here, and we've got our new Bitcoin Reigns t-shirt on, where Bitcoin is, currently holding the top of the pyramid, and all the other currencies are falling below, and they're just, wishing they were the best, but they're not, and they're never going to be the best again. So today I'm going to try to make this video as quick as possible, more or less for you, because I know these 26 and 30-minute videos are getting very annoying to watch, and a lot of you don't have that much time. Today, pretty much our Bitcoin is dropped down. We're down to 15,300. We've definitely dropped down from our 16,000 and our $19,000 all-time high that we've been hitting, and a lot of people think that we're going to continue to drop as the futures exchange trading starts to go tomorrow on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. They have initiated their Bitcoin futures trading for December 10th, which is tomorrow. So I'm sure as soon as that happens, and then you have the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which starts on the 18th, as those futures start trading, Bitcoin's price is definitely going to do a lot of things, and a lot of people think it's going to drop. And as it drops, you're going to start to see a lot more money flow out into the altcoins, because people aren't going to want to be holding the Bitcoin that they have, or however many they have, as these drops are occurring, especially as you see all these big fluctuations going on in the rest of the market, and you could be losing out. Just like everybody was selling their altcoins to get on the Bitcoin train, you're going to see people selling their Bitcoin to get on the altcoin train, and vice versa, and these things are going to continue to happen. So if we go check out some of our biggest, our top 10 coins, more or less, Litecoin has massively shot up. I know if you have Litecoin, you're definitely liking what's going on, because it has almost doubled in price. It has in the past couple days, and it has gone up about 50% in the past 24 hours. Now, the reason for this could be for many different reasons. If you know anything about Litecoin, Litecoin is a fork from Bitcoin. It forked in around October in 2011, so it's a little over 6 years old at this point, and it has grown up massively from the beginning of this year. I think earlier in this year it was like $4, $5, $6, and now it is $160. So as you have more and more of these people who are coming in, they're going to be looking for what they can put their money in, and this could be potentially it. And a reason for that could be because if you know about Litecoin, you know the developer behind Litecoin is Charlie Lee. Charlie Lee has worked for Google as well as Coinbase, and then he went to work full-time on Litecoin, and he has been doing that ever since he left Coinbase a couple years ago. He has actually just come out and said that he's going to be doing a Squawk Box interview on CNBC on Monday, which is going to be in 2 days, and that could be potentially very big for Litecoin. As you've seen, the more media coverage that Bitcoin gets, the more it gets pumped, the more everybody wants into it, and the more people who are just average everyday people are talking about Bitcoin. Now, as Bitcoin starts to drop, Litecoin, you have this massive rise in Litecoin. People are going to look at Litecoin like it's the next Bitcoin, and people have been saying that forever, that Litecoin's the next Bitcoin. Whether it is or isn't, it's got very fast transaction speeds, and it's a very stable currency, and it's been growing very well. As these people are looking for what they're going to invest in next, especially if you have someone going on mainstream media news and talking about it, they're going to be rushing to that coin, and they're going to think it's the next Bitcoin, especially after they just saw this pretty much doubled in price over a couple days span. They're going to be wanting to get into this as quick as they can. So you might see Litecoin's price rise up decently over the next couple days as well, especially after that whole Squawk Box interview. Another coin that has been making big moves is NEM. Now, NEM was sitting down in like the 25, 30 coin for a while, and then it slowly started to work its way up, and it was also down in like 21 cents, 22 cents, and it was fluctuating around there, and it really was staying pretty much symmetrical to whatever Ripple was doing, and that was always something I compared Ripple to NEM, because whatever Ripple would go up 5 or 10%, NEM would follow. Now, we've actually had some big news with NEM. NEM is going to be working with a company in China called Tencent, and Tencent is an investment firm, more or less, and they own a company or an app called WeChat, and more or less, NEM is going to be getting integrated into this WeChat app. Now, if you guys have Snapchat or something like that, you've probably seen that you can send like Snap Cash or whatever it is. You can send money more or less to whoever you want of your Snapchat friends, and they can receive it. It's going to be also kind of like a PayPal, where you can send money and pay for things to friends, or send money to friends and family or whatnot. But they're going to integrate the NEM wallet within the WeChat app, or more or less, and they're going to be able to send NEM coins via the WeChat app, which is definitely going to be very cool. It's going to be a cool way to send and make payments to your friends and family, and definitely as social media grows and people start to transact online, this is going to be something that starts to grow, especially in the China and Japanese area where you have so many people, and social media is, you know, they don't really reach out to the rest of the world in social media. They're kind of just like isolated in their own area. They're going to be definitely investing in this heavily because, you know, they like to be social. Another coin that I want to talk about is NEO. Now, NEO has been kind of sitting around like the mid 30s for a while. It was up in the $45 region, and then after China decided to ban ICOs, everybody got afraid and sold all their NEO coins, because NEO is more or less directly tied to China and China's innovations and their developments. If you've ever seen Red Pulse is pretty much just based on China's manufacturing and everything. I never really looked into Red Pulse 100%, but Red Pulse is going to be tied into with what I'm talking about here. Now, NEO has got some big things coming up for it. It is going to be hosting a meetup in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they're going to be spreading all the good things that NEO, the whole platform, can do, the smart contracts, what Red Pulse is, and the availability of Red Pulse and what it can do. And Red Pulse is also going to be having an announcement on Sunday that has to do with some of the things that are going on with it. So Red Pulse might actually see a decent spike in price too. Now, NEO is, as well to the Cambridge, Massachusetts meetup, it is going to be holding a contest and working with a company called Queen's Road Capital in Japan. And they're going to be, Queen's Road Capital is an investment firm in China and Southeast Asia. And they're going to be holding this contest more or less in Japan to spread out cryptocurrencies in NEO, and they're going to try to expand it through Japan. So if you've been paying attention, Japan is pretty much becoming a new superpower to cryptocurrencies. If NEO really does branch out to Japan and people start to adopt the currency more for things, you could potentially see NEO's price go back to where it was and beyond where it was when it was heavily bought in China. So I think over the next couple days, we could see NEO spike a decent amount. I think the meetup in Japan, where they're holding the initial contest and trying to expand out there, is starting on December 10th, which is, you have to remember that Japan is also like 14 or whatever hours ahead of us. So probably tonight while you're going to bed, this conference and meetup is going to be taking place. So potentially when you wake up in the morning, you might see NEO at $42, $45 because so many people have decided to invest in it and think that it's going to be the future of something. As well as you might see Red Pulse start to spike a little bit as well on Sunday, because they said that they have an announcement that is going to be directly related to the Tokyo project that they are related to and the NEO thing. So this might all help NEO more or less in the long run. But as you've seen, our altcoins, they all look pretty green today because a lot of people don't want to hold on to Bitcoin after it's just hit an all-time high and it's continuing downward. A lot of people want to continue to try to make profits as they can. And a lot of people don't want to be trading on these Bitcoin futures when they start trading on the futures market, more or less, because a lot of people think Bitcoin is going to drop. So if you think Bitcoin is going to drop and a lot of people are telling you it's going to drop and you've already made a profit, sometimes a lot of people just want to take their profit that they have and invest in something that looks promising. You have all of these other green markets, which are going to definitely attract somebody that has seen a red market. Especially if they're a new investor, somebody that hasn't been investing in cryptocurrencies and seen this volatility that could potentially happen. They're going to be investing in these green markets, and maybe tomorrow or in 2 days, these green markets are going to be heavy red markets, and they're not going to know what to do. You're going to see a lot of people that have weak hands coming into this market, and that's why these markets are going to be fluctuating heavily over the next couple months. But they're also going to be growing heavily over the next couple of months as well. So if you can potentially trade these dips on the markets, you could be pulling out a decent amount of profit. Or if not, and you just want to buy into it now and hold, it might even be good to do that because these markets have so much room to grow. Something else that I want to talk to you guys about real quick is if you are a member of the Salt lending platform, I had a video that I just came out with recently that talked about how they are going to be starting up their platform within the next month. I got an email, and I'm sure anybody that is a member of their platform got an email that reiterated this more or less yesterday, that they were planning to launch their platform in the next month, or more or less by the end of the year. And as well, they also had an offer on there where you can take part in getting a Salt brand Ledger Nano S, and all it costs you is 5 Salt tokens. Now, if you're like me and you invested in Salt at the early stages, or even if you invested in Salt a month ago or a couple weeks ago, it was in the $2 and $3 range. You could be potentially paying less than $15 for a very, very secure hardware wallet. Now, if you haven't looked into a hardware wallet or know what a Ledger Nano S is, it's a hardware wallet where you can keep your cryptocurrencies on. And as I've been saying, and I say time and time again, is these cryptocurrencies are growing exponentially in price, and every day they are getting more and more expensive, and you're running the risk every day more and more of someone trying to phish or hack your cryptocurrencies, because they're a very, very valuable asset. Keeping them on a hardware wallet, which is proclaimed to be tamper-proof, so even if somebody were to take your hardware wallet and try to implement some sort of a malware onto it, they would still not be able to get your cryptocurrencies off of it. And if you were to happen to lose your Nano Ledger S or whatever your hardware wallet would be, you can, as long as you save your key, your passphrase key, you can recover it on another Ledger Nano. So you should really never have a problem with it. The only problem you would have is if you did lose it, you would have to wait till you got another Ledger Nano, which could be potentially maybe a week or two or however long it takes to ship. If you guys are not a member of Salt and you still wish to potentially get a Ledger Nano S, I am also having a Ledger Nano S giveaway. You can find the link for that below. It's going to be a video. All you have to do is watch the video that I made, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and on December 24th or 25th, one of those 2 days, I'm going to be doing a stream, and I will give away the Ledger Nano S to someone who commented on there. So if you guys all just want to try to win one, there's not that many people that commented, so it's going to give you a better chance than some of these big videos that have like 1,000 people that commented. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And one other thing that I want to leave you guys with today is if you are a member of Coinbase or something like that, and you are trying to get a hold of support or trying to get a hold of anybody, since Coinbase has now hit the #1 downloaded app in the United States, they are seeing a high amount of users, and they don't have that many employees there to keep up with everything that is growing. So they've actually released news that they are going to be hiring around 400 new employees for their company within the next couple months to try to keep up with all the demands that are going on. So if you do have a support ticket with Coinbase, and as well as like Bittrex and Poloniex and whatnot, everybody else, as much as this space keeps growing, if you were involved in it in May and June of this year and earlier this year, you saw the same thing happen earlier where servers were kind of getting overloaded, and you kind of had these flash crashes happening, and people were trying to sell their Bitcoin or more or less moving their cryptocurrencies. They were trying to move them from a wallet, and the wallet would mess up and it wouldn't let them withdraw them. And then they would send out a support ticket, and they would never hear anything back from support. And the problem is that potentially you might only have 1 or 2 people working on some of these support lines, and you have 2 and 3 and 4,000 support tickets pouring in a day. So a lot of these people were waiting for more than a month, more than 2 months to get their support tickets answered, if they even got them answered yet. So if you are using a cryptocurrency exchange, you always want to make sure that you send a very small payment first to make sure that your payment can be sent out, make sure it all goes through smoothly, and then you can send your bigger payment through after that. At least that's personally what I do, just to ensure everything runs smooth. You'd rather lose a small amount or get a small amount tied up in whatever your support or whatever inside the wallet than all of your funds, because even if your money is still stuck on the exchange, you can still trade it. You can still buy and sell coins on the exchange and take advantage of all the fluctuations in prices. But if you try to withdraw your money and it gets stuck in a withdrawal phase, your money's still just stuck in a withdrawal. And say you were trying to withdraw Bitcoin at $17,000 and they don't get a hold of your support ticket until maybe Bitcoin drops to 10,000, you just lost a decent amount of money because your money was stuck in the support area, or in the withdrawal phase more or less. And you could have been investing in Bitcoin Cash or IOTA or Ripple or whatever else and been making a profit off of it. So that's why you always want to make sure you send a small amount. Make sure even if you were to happen to put in the wrong address, you wouldn't send it to somebody else by accident. It'd just be a small amount. It wouldn't be a big deal. That's what I'm going to leave you guys with today. You always want to stay safe in this space and try to be one step ahead of everything, the news and whatnot, because that is what's going to make these prices fluctuate the most. And if you can stay one step ahead on the news, you're going to be able to take advantage of these price fluctuations the best. So I will leave you guys with that. Hopefully you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys again Monday. See ya.